Hi, have you ever wondered with your membership site why you have some members who are hyper engaged, really engaged with what you do in your membership site in your community, download everything, give you feedback, help other members out, where some members, they just dip in and out, maybe they dabble in your membership site, and some who completely just disappear. They've joined and you never hear from them again. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you some uncomfortable truths about running a membership site based on some uncomfortable numbers. However, understanding these numbers and the drivers behind them will hopefully stop you beating yourself up or worrying about those 20% who disappear and enable you to focus on the ones who really are engaged with your membership site. So let's go to the handy dandy whiteboard. And these are the numbers I want you to focus on and remember at this time. So you've got 1, 4, 15, 60, and 20. So where do those numbers fit in? Well, let's look at your membership base. Now, first of all, we have your 1%. These are your hyper users. These are the people who are in every day, all day in your community. They download everything. They give feedback. They help other people out. They seem to live and breathe within your membership. The next level down, this is your 4%. And these are your regulars. Again, these people can be in every day, but they're not in as much as the hyper users. They're engaged with your membership. They use it. They ask the questions. Underneath that, we have our 15%. And these are your engaged people. These are the people, again, log in, they use it, they come to the lives. Maybe they'll be in your community a couple of times a week. They'll ask questions. In some cases, they'll even help out and ask other questions as well. Next, you have, well, you guessed it, your 60%. Oops, that didn't work very well, did it? Let's see if we can get rid of that, and I'll try and do. So we've got our 60%. Now, 60% is made up of a few different types of people. I call these your dabblers because they dabble in and out. They may use it, they may not. They'll come to a live every now and then. However, within here, you also have your, what I call your just in cases, if that's a word, people who have joined your membership site for the information just in case they need it. Now, also in here are people who want to belong. Now, I'll come back to these people. These people have joined your site because they see it as a place where there are people just like them, where they feel like-minded people are there as well. And there's different reasons for that. We have your professional info collectors. They join just for the information and they seem to collect it. These people who, with in the nicest possible way, they mistake activity for accomplishment. They've joined your membership site, so they see that as accomplishment. They don't see like getting involved, using the information, doing the work as accomplishment. They've joined, they're collecting the information. And at the bottom are the people I see a lot of membership site owners, this is your 20%, really worrying about. These are the disappeared. I don't know, it's one, that should be an S, shouldn't it? Disappeared. I don't know, it's one S or two P's and one P or two S's, whatever it is. These are the disappeared. These are the people who the only reason they've logged in is because you have an automatic way of logging people in when they pay. You look at their account and it says one login and that's it. And I see a lot of membership site owners really fretting and fussing over the 20% that disappeared, and to the detriment of the people in the 16, the 15s and the 4s and the 1%ers. Now, what we need to do is look at how do we take, this is what I would do, how do we take our engaged people and try and move them into regular, and how do we take some of our dabblers and move them into the engaged, and then obviously further on up into the regular users. However, and how can I put this? You will find those numbers 1, 4, 15, 16 and 20 to be universal across educational online platforms, the how-to market, the membership market. And if you've been running a membership site for 12 months or more, go and have a look at these numbers. Go and do the work, dissect your base, look at the logins, look at the users, look at how many times they've asked questions, and you'll find that these numbers are not far from what you have as well. So yes, we need to spend time looking at how we can move people into, the engaged and regulars. But again, don't beat yourself up too much having to focus on the disappeared and the dabblers and think, why aren't they engaged more? Focus on the ones who are engaged. Focus on your regulars. Focus on your hyper users. Now, I'll give you one idea of how you can move people from one level to another. And it's using live events. And this is in person or even online. However, if you can get your members to an in-person event, I will guarantee, well, there's no guarantees in life, is it? Death and taxes, is it? But I can almost guarantee that you will have longer retention levels from those people who've been to your live events. And you'll see people move up from these different categories, from dabblers to engaged to regulars. Now, there's one thing I want to talk about in the dabbler section, is these people who are there because they belong. Now, again, you may see people in your membership site and think, they're not really engaged. They're there, they dip in and out. We will never truly understand why our members join our membership site. We have one idea. I'll guarantee your members have another. And I'll tell you a short story of how it was really driven home to me. So the first time I really understood why people will join to belong was we had the Internet Marketing Review. That was our membership business for online marketers who sold information products. And every year we held what we called our UK Gold event here in the UK, where we would invite all our members and prospects as well, people or non-members and people who hadn't bought from us. We would hold our annual member event or annual event, the UK Gold event. The speakers at that event would be myself, my business partner at the time. We would do more of the teaching, and then we'd invite our successful members, a handful of our successful members, to talk about their business, how they got started, the highs and the lows, what worked, what didn't. And that was a 3-day event, an annual event that we ran every year for about 6 or 7 years. Now, one year, I'll never forget this, we were chatting with a group of people, successful members, people who've been members for a while, and we were chatting about, there's some people who came to the event, or you'd see on the forum of the membership site, and it didn't look like they were progressing. And there was one chap who was there that we'd seen every single year. He was an older chap, and he kept himself to himself, pretty quiet. I said hello to him, but he wasn't one of those members who seemed to be a social butterfly. He came and then he enjoyed it and then he went. So I sat down with him. I said, hiya, how you doing? Good to see you again. Don't mind me asking, I've noticed you've come each year. I noticed that on the forum, and I just want to make sure that you're getting the most from the Internet Marketing Review, because I'm unsure of where you are in your business and what you're doing. I'd hate you to be paying for something that you're not using. And he said, Neil, let me stop you there. And it's what he said next that really struck home to me. He said, listen, I thoroughly enjoy coming to the UK Gold event. I love the Internet Marketing Review. What you don't know is I look forward to these 3 days each year, every single year. He said, because my wife has early onset dementia. And it means I am her full-time carer. Now, twice a year, one of which is this event, she goes into respite care. I come here and I am surrounded by positive people, a fantastic environment, like-minded people who are all developing our online business. And I thoroughly enjoy these 3 days. He said, don't you worry about me. I've sold an ebook or two. I've got some affiliate marketing. It's something I do on the side while looking after my wife. But, you don't need to worry about me. This is one of the highlights of my year. So imagine if I'd have said, listen, I don't think you're getting the most from the Internet Marketing Review. It might be better if you leave. If I'd have listened to that group of people, we do not know why people join our membership site. And there will be people in your membership site who are there because they feel safe. They feel surrounded by like-minded people. It might be an escape for them. So don't ever try and prejudge or guess why people are there or why they are or are not using, different parts of your membership. However, That doesn't mean that we shouldn't be aware of it, so people who aren't using, and do and put in place processes and campaigns to get them engaged and to move them up into these different categories. But don't ever don't ever make them feel that they shouldn't be there, or that they're wrong for not being as engaged as we want them. So remember, go back and have a look here at your 1, 4, 15, 60 and 20. Look to see where you can move your engaged into regulars, and some of these in your dabblers up into engaged. And if you can, start to put in place specific strategic retention content. And if you can run a live event, if you can't do in person, do an online one. Do a live webinar or a live Q&A session, live, or a live teaching, or a live something at least once a month, to get people along to it, to start making those deeper connections and moving people up into the different levels within your membership sites. I hope this has been interesting. I hope it's been an eye-opener for you. If you've got any questions, any comments, if you're watching this on social, post them below. If not, send them to info@thetrainingvault.com. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I'll speak to you soon.